And welcome to our Sports Fix across regional South Australia. I'm Wayne Phillips. It's good to have your company today. Let's take a look at the Barossa Light Gawler Football Association. Angaston kicked 22 goals, 152. Way too good for Freeling, 3-9-27. Freeling, though, I guess would be content with the fact they got some score on the board here against the highly fancied Angaston side, who, for mine, look like they are bound for at least a grand final berth, but maybe even more this year. Bornholm and Durden both booted 5, and they've been instrumental in Angaston's good form in recent weeks. In other matches, Gawler Central back into the winners list over the lowly Barossa districts with a win 19-10, 124 to 4-3-27. Well played to the Tigers there. And they had good players in Hooker and Phillips, who both booted 3, and Molyneux, who is their best player, and he was their best on the ground in this game. And in other matches, the close one of the round, Newry Rovers, it was 12-12, 84 to beat Williston, 12-11, 83. And it continues Williston's struggle on the road. Andrew Jarman and his team putting up a good fight in these matches, but this one keeps Newry's final chances alive, a 1-point victory over Williston at the weekend. And South Gawler 15-9, 99 beat Kapunda 7-1, 43. And gee, if South aren't the best side in this comp, then Angaston might have something to say, but they are both right up there, South and Angaston, the two blue and white sides who've come together in the Barossa Light and Gawler competitions. It was Golding with 6 for South. He was amongst their better players, along with Press, whilst it was Bell and Matters with 2 apiece, and Evans and Hocking, good players for Kapunda. Let's take a look now at football played in the Yorke Peninsula over the weekend. And big Sammy Jacobs, the former Crows and Greater Western Sydney and Carlton ruckman, he celebrated with his side a win over the old foe at Maitland. Ardrossan 16-10, 106. Central York 8-11, 59. What a performance by the big fella. He was one of the best players for Ardrossan on the day in that 8-goal win over their arch rivals. In other matches, a close one, Pascaville 12-11, 83, too good for Kadena, 11-6, 72. Well done there to the Magpies. And Moonta continuing their early season form, and they're looking solid, 17-10, 112 to beat the CMS Crows, 8-5, 53. And meanwhile, it was Southern Eagles at the Waruka Oval on their home deck, 12-6, 78, too good for Butte, 7-16, 58, a 20-point margin there going the way of the Eagles. As we now go to the Adelaide Plains football and weekend matches, has seen Angle Vale emerge as a real threat in this competition. They've got up and had another win, this time over the Hummocks Watchman Eagles, 13-9, 87 to 11-4, 70. So it was a 17-point win to Angle Vale on their home ground too. They'll be pleased with that. As were Two Wells with beating Hamley Bridge, 23-12 to 8 goals, 9. It was a 93-point margin, a one-sided game. Abdillah with 8 and Barnett with 7 for Two Wells, and Matthews and also Barnett were the better two players. McCabe with 4, and he was the best player for the Bomber Boys. And this result, very one-sided. It's an arch-rivals game, but it didn't turn out to do much of a spectacle at Long Plains Oval because Balaclava 23-18, 156 were way too good for United, 2-6-18. Gee, they're having a poor season. The Tigers just haven't got the players this year to compete. Jason McFarlane led the way for Balaclava Peckers with 8 goals, and Hendry and Roos were their good players. Rundle and Watson scored for United, and Pym was in their better players. And finally, Malala 15-10, 100, the perfect score, they say, beating Virginia 10-6, 66 in the final match there of Adelaide Plains. We go to the Northeastern now. No matches played on the last weekend. They had a league bye, so we'll be looking forward to this week's round 4 clashes in Northeastern footy. North Clare will play BBH, and RSMU will take on BSR in the match of the round 2 of the top sides. That's going to be a beauty at Riverton. While Southern Saints in another really important match at Robertstown, their home deck, they get Min Man, and they need to win the Southern Saints to stay in touch with the top 4, while Blythe Snowtown take on South Clare. I guess these two might be playing for pride and also to not get the bottom place on the premiership ladder. That is a look at your sports fix for today here on The Flow.